Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah wa ba'd. Today we shall start from Babu Sujood as-Sahwi. We have tackled Salah, we have dealt extensively with Salah, its pillars, the Sunnah parts, and the Fadail, the virtues all in Salah. We have dealt with Tahara also. And now, even though we are supposed to make Salah with perfection, sometimes it happens that we may miss some aspects of it. This may happen to maybe some thoughts or situations that we are caught in, so we may forget some aspects. How to make up of those aspects, how to rectify those mistakes that we make in Salah. That is what this chapter is dealing with. Therefore, we are going to follow the Sunnah of Rasulullah in this era. So it starts with Sujood as-Sahwi. What is as-Sahwi in the first place? As-Sahwi. Sahwi. Sahwi. Forgetfulness. Nisyan. Sahwi means Nisyan, when you forget. So we are going to ask our reader, Brother Shaykh, what's your last name? Mo, inshallah, to start off. Start it off. Go on. Can we be quiet? Okay, good. Quiet. Stop there. So sujood sahwi fi salati sunnah. Now it covers areas. There are certain things what you do, you have to use what? Sujood. There are certain things that if you do, you don't make sujood to rectify. So there are divisions. Sometimes you rectify, sometimes you need to bring the whole obligatory part before you rectify. For example, if you miss Fatiha. For example, Fatiha is one of the pillars of Salah. Fatiha, like Qiyam. All those things, when you have to miss them, you have to go back to bring them back. So sujood sahwi alone is not sufficient. Now, but when you miss the sunnahs, for example, qira for surah is the sunnah. Now, there you don't have to bring it, but what? You can make sujood to rectify. Or sometimes you are reciting in the salah like dhuhr, where you are supposed to recite quietly and silently, and then you open up, recite it aloud. What are you going to do? You can make sujood sahwi. So that's why Al-Mu'allif rahimahullah says that or sujood sahwi fi salah sunnah. Now, continue. فلنقصان قبل السلام. Stop there. فلنقصان سجدتان قبل السلام. نقصان. What is نقصان? That is omission. So when you omit something, then the law is that you have to make, in order to rectify that salah, you have to make what? 2 rakats what? Before salah. 2 rakats before salah. That is very important. So anytime you are making salah and you miss a sunnah, you have to what? Rectify it by what? Making sujood before you make the salah. Now. بعد تمام التشهدين. بعد تمام التشهدين. In other words, when you make, this is the process, the procedure. You are making salah and you omit an aspect of it that is sunnah, you rectify it by what? Making sujood before the salah. Not until or after you have made your what? The full tashahud. You go ahead, you complete your salah, but just as about you are going to make your taslim, salam, then you make your rakatain. With tashahud, then you make what? Salam. You complete your tashahud. Complete your tashahud, but don't make your salam. You have to make what? The rakatain of sahw before you can make your sajdatain. Make your sajdatain before you make what? Assalamu alaikum. Just tashahud. Just tashahud. This tashahud. Because you don't want to make it long. Tashahud. That is what is required at tashahud. Just make it tashahud. At tashahud. Hold on. That's what. Tashahud comes before it. Salat al-Nabi. Yes, just a minute.
In reference to what you said last week about the salah
Can we finish first? Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, it's related. If we forgot to say the salah to the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, first tashahhud, am I required to do sujood as-sahwi?
No, why? Because it is not obligatory in that sense. Because it is. Because opinion is highly divided on that. It is not an area of ittifaq. It's not the area whereby it has been unanimously agreed upon. No. Okay, go ahead. This is the process. Now, how do you make? We talk about sujood sahwi. How do you make sujood sahwi? No. Raise your hand. Yes. For example, first we are doing with qabli. Sujood qabli. No. Are you watching the process? Leave me alone. Yes, no. Because it will come to your turn. Rabbi Khfirli 3 times? That's what you do? Rabbi Khfirli 3 times in sajda?
No, just Khfirli. And then we do second sajda. After that we sit for 3 seconds. Then Assalamu alaikum.
Do you hear what he said? How is that right? No. Do you agree? You are. That's why you are learning this. That is wrong. So, is that how you do it? Is that how you do it? Now, what is Malikiya saying here? Tell me. يزيد بعده ما بعده تشهدا آخر. أمن تشهد آخر؟ أيوة. Allahu Akbar. Anytime you say Salaam Alaikum, you say Salaam Alaikum only after what? Tashahud. So why do you say what Salaam Alaikum without Tashahud? Subhanallah, alhamdulillah. Subhanallah. Learning is good, right? Here is Dalil. Dalil of Imran bin Hussein. He says that أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى بهم فصحى فسجد سجدتين ثم تشهد ثم سلم. Explain to them. Listen. Hadith. عن إمران بن حسين رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى بهم فصحى. ما معنى صحى؟ أيوة. فسجد سجدتين ثم تشهد ثم سلم. رواه أبو داود وصححه ابن هبان والحاكم. إن حديث صحيح. That is the process. Are we Okay, now, are we going to rectify this and inculcate it into our process of sujood sawi? Alhamdulillah. أيوة سجد سجدتين ثم تشهد. It means after the sajdatain of sujood sahu, it did not say assalamu alaikum, but what? Tashahada thumma salam. Are you okay now? What's your name? Are you okay too? MashaAllah. So that is a process. Are you okay? طيب. So this has a hadith sahih. That is the dalil. Now. You want to confuse yourself? Let's go with this now. Hadith sahih. Now, go on. يتشهد بعدهما. So when you add something, first we dealt with the omission. Now when you add something to your salah, then what happens? You are going to make two sajdatain after the yatashahada ba'dahuma. So the two tashahud must also come. Here's the dalil. Dalil also comes here that anna Nabiy sallallahu alayhi wa sallam صلى ظهر خمسا صلى ظهر خمسا فقيل له أزيد في الصلاة فقال وما ذلك قال زدت خمسا فسجد سجدتين بعد الصلاة فسجد سجدتين بعد الصلاة. الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم, he was making zuhr, he made 5 rakas. Then it was said to me, Ya Rasulullah, you have made 5. Is it a new thing that now we make zuhr 5? He said, no. So he made what, 2 rakas? What? After the salah. Are you okay? So this is the dalil for making what? If you add something to your rakas, to your salah, you have to make sajdatain after the salah. Are you okay? That is the dalil. There's tashahud. There's tashahud. But the tashahud. But he made the tashahud. Salamu alaikum. Only before, after what? Made the tashahud. After, yes, make your salamu alaikum, right? You make your salamu alaikum. And then you said what? You make your tashahud. You don't make salam again. Taslimatan ukhra. So anytime you want to make sujood sawi, سواء قبلي أو بعدي تتشهد لهما. تتشهد لهما. لا بد أن تتشهد. أيوة لا بد أن تتشهد. نعم. هكذا الطريق. طيب. ثم يتشهد بعدهما ويسلم تسليمة أخرى. Explain that one. Yeah, what? Yes, please. Again, بعد التشهد. Yes, التشهد يأتي بعد التسليمة لأنها بادية. طيب. Are you okay? Is it difficult? Entangling, intriguing, right? But this is good. It's good for all of us, right? طيب. Continue. طيب. Here is a process also. ومن زاد, what does it mean? Somebody is making salah, right? ونقص, he did what? Omitted, he made something. وزاد, at the same time what? He added. What do you do? Is it possible that somebody is making salah, he can omit and add at the same time? Yes, it is possible. Has that happened to you before? What did you do and what do you do? When did you know that? Are you guessing? Give a scenario whereby you are making salah and the tanqus wa tazid, you omit and then you add. Let's start from here. Okay. We are talking about sunan. No. Leave me alone. Excellent. A plus. Very good. So in this kind of scenario, you alone know. You know. We don't know. So this is how you do it. As soon as you make your tashahud, final tashahud, just about the time you want to make your taslim, don't make your taslim. What do what? Sajdatayni. With tashahud, of course, before you make your what? Assalamu alaikum. Difficult, but you have to keep it because this is practical. You need this thing in your heart. In other words, anytime this happens, you don't have to say that, no, I've been, this process, I've missed it, I've locked it up in my drawer, let me go and bring it. No, it has to be with you, ready. This process has to be with you, ready, because you need to use it, what? On hand, readily. When you miss it, you make the mistakes, just make it right in the salah. You don't go leave the salah. Or otherwise, tabtul bi dhalika as-salah. Your salah will be what? Nullified. So these things you have to. It's this formula, like you have a formula method that you have to keep with you, and then you have to apply it what anytime what you are making salah, and then the mistake comes. May Allah forbid us making this kind of mistakes. Yes. No, if you don't say it, it's not nullified, but you have to make sujood for it. You have to make sujood for it. Okay, so if you don't make sujood for it, the salah is nullified? Yes, it's nullified. Yes, because you have to make sujood for it. Now, go ahead. But if you do it amdan, no, we are coming to that. If you do it amdan, in other words, intentionally, then it nullifies. But if it is not, if it is inadvertent, it's not intentionally, then it doesn't matter. We have it all, inshallah. So all these processes, what Allah SWT does not want us to do is to do these things intentionally. If they are intentionally, you lose your salah. If not intentionally, then you are forgiven, inshallah. Let's go on. Who can explain this one? It should what? Make it. If it is close by, it should make it. No, as soon as you remember, not. No, that is too much. If a couple of minutes, a couple of seconds maybe, between a few seconds, and then maybe a minute or a couple of minutes. It doesn't matter. Go back and then do the what? Tashahud. Continue. What is Ta'ala there? طيب أو سجود what is battle? That nullified. طيب continue. Let's try to. Who can lead us? وَتَبْتُلُ الصَّلَاةُ مَعَهُ. That's right. إِنْ كَانَ عَنْ ثَلَاثِ سُنَنٍ. Yes. One doesn't matter. But in terms of salah being nullified, but if it is 3 sunnahs and you don't make the sujood qabli for that, not only you lose your sujood qabli, but it leads that to what? The nullification of the salah. Other than that, your salah is okay. You make a Yes, that is okay. That's right. But even though it doesn't happen that often, but that's why the brother said that the shaitan got you too much. Meaning it can happen, but may Allah forbid. Don't allow the shaitan to get you that much. You see what happens? That's why when you are coming to make salah, the advice is just there. You have to shake in. You have to shake, empty your heart from all things in the world, and then concentrate on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's presence in the salah. This can minimize, if not obliterate or eliminate altogether, these kinds of thinking, thoughts, and omissions, and then this kind of happens. Imagine somebody who's making salah and he leaves 3 sunnahs. He might have been dreaming somewhere. He might be having roaming all the Appalachians and then the Grand Canyons. Yes. Think about the 3 sunnahs. That is too much. Don't go that far. And he said that, Irja fa'innaka lam tusalli. Go and make salah again. That is too much. Too many actions right in the salah. Yes. It can assumption that it can come. It comes. It happens. If you leave omit 1, you may omit 2. You may even omit 3, even 4. He is kind with you. He said 3. I can go on to say even 4. It depends upon the level of your concentration in the salah. We don't question about these things. These things happen. When people come to make the salah and they all make Allahu Akbar Takbir Ihram, do you know what is going on? Do you know what is going on in their chests and their hearts? You don't know. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. Do you think that when we say Assalamu alaikum, all our reward is the same, a guarantee? No. There's difference based upon your level of what? Concentration in the salah. Do we all think the same in the salah? No. Do you all focus on Allah's presence? No. So, but when someone is struggling with this omission of sunnahs, you are not. He may even struggle for 3 through 4, maybe 5, even 10 sunnahs, because his mind is not there. You know what happens? Either he is too happy or he is too sad. It can happen. Let us take the situation of one being too happy. He is too happy that he had this what? That check, beautiful check. It came to him out of no surprise. And then he was so happy. That happiness led him all smiling, right? Up to the time of Salah. And he came, says, it comes to make Salah, Takbir Ihram, Allahu Akbar. Still, the smile is coming in. Maybe he's thinking of what he's going to do with what? With the money. Is it possible or not? It happens. And this can make me lose a lot of sunnahs. It happens. If that happens, then you have to make what? Salat, make a sujood for that. Now, but if it's more than that, then that can lead to what? Nullification of your salah. You are playing with the salah. And Allah does not want you to play with the salah intentionally. So it's and this is the happy one. The sad one is that to thank Allah, we thank Allah by concentrating on Allah. Now the sad aspect is that maybe, may Allah forbid, you lose your job. May Allah forbid that for us. And then, how am I going to feed my family? And things like that. You come to make salah, Allah Akbar, you are just a skeleton, but your mind is not there. You may lose a lot of sunnahs if you are not careful. It requires a lot of patience and fortitude to concentrate. It happens. So these are human situations. That's why we have this fiqh to guide us through, withdrawn, extracted from the Quran and then the sunnah of our Rasul. Yeah, enough is enough. Enough is enough. That is 3. Say that again. So you said three times and you are strike out, yes. Basically, let's just deal with this first. When we are saturated with this, then we go on to another, we call it a comparative fiqh muqarran. Otherwise, we are not going to even, we have to get the hold of this first. Then we can make our comparison as we go on. No. Yes. But this is right. I mean, inshallah, all the madhaib, as a matter of fact, they are all good now. But you have to start somewhere. Get used to it before you can climb. That's how we do it, inshallah. No, طيب. ومن نسي سجود بعدي سجده. أيوة. What does it mean? For that one. This is but that's the situation. Yes, that's right. It doesn't matter. When you remember that, I did make some addition somewhere. It doesn't matter. Even after a year, you can still go ahead and then make tashahud and then say your body. You are okay, inshallah. May Allah make it easy. You come to find that when sujood qabli and ba'di come face to face in the same time, which one of them is preferred to another? No, in other words, one of them takes precedence and more potency above the other. Qabli. So omission is more powerful than you get to do it right now. But you see, it not have the same power, the potency. So that's why I say that even after a year, you can still make it and you're okay, but not with qabli. You are shaking your head now? Yes, it is reasonable, right? Yes. This is fiqh. Lord for last one, please. Deficiency. Now, we are not saying that keep adding stuff. But that's right. MashaAllah. Thank you. Go on. What does it mean? Farida? Farida. Sujood sahwi is not sufficient for it. Farida like what? Farida in Salah like what? Like a rukun, like what? Like Fatiha. Like Fatiha. For the same thing. It's a Farida min arkan. No, they have rukun for this one. They have rukun. The rukun is fard, and then you have the sunnah. The sunnah, after the sunnah, then you have mustahibat or mustahabat wal fadwail. Mustahabat wal fadwail, they all come on the sunnah. For example, like we did last week, we did before. So Fatiha is what? A rukun. It's fard now. Like reciting the surah is what? Sunnah. And then we have fadail also, mustahabat, all coming under what? Under sunnah. Like mustahabat, like what? MashaAllah. Or raful yadayn in the ihram, to raise your hand when you are making the word takbir ihram. هذا من الفضائل. Right? Now. So yes, they all are in place. But here we are talking about when you miss what? Fard. Like Fatiha, it is not sufficient to make what sujood sahwi. Sunnah. Sunnah. But what? Hanabila is what? Fard. Are we okay now?
So, the surah after Fatiha is considered sunnah, like subhanallah ta'ala is sunnah?
Yes. No. It's sunnah, but higher than subhanallah. We have the sunnah here. The sunnah is divided into two in Malikiya. Sunnah, under sunnah you have fadila. Sunnah itself, and then you have fadila. Fadila means the virtue, mustahab, something that is preferable. Now, so the sunnah here is of two divisions. Sunnah itself, and then what? Mustahab. Yes.
The surah after Fatiha is the higher one?
It's the higher one.
So in Maliki, if you intentionally don't say the surah after Fatiha, then your salah is invalid.
If you intentionally do that, yes. Yes, if you intentionally do that, then it is less. All these things, if you intentionally did them, you are out. No one should do these things intentionally. You cannot intentionally come and then not to say Subhanallah or Allah. No, you should say that. It reduces your salah. If it is intentionally, then you have to make the salah again. So we have to obey by the. We have to play by the rules. We have to obey the rule, inshallah. All these forms, when you do them intentionally, you have changed the scenario, and then you are out. But you get to know what is fard, because the fard, when you know the fard, how to rectify it, you have to bring it first. Now, before you make the sujood. Now, if it is sunnah alone, you don't have to bring it. You just make sujood and it's okay. So that is what is this. But all of these, they are run through by one common denominator, which is what? If you don't do them, and if you did them intentionally, then you are out. Are you okay now? Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Yes, go on. So, go on. Okay. Yeah, fine, good. That's fine. More Spanish. Who can explain this for tourists? Listen carefully. If you miss that fadila, like just one, Subhanallah, for example, just one. You don't have to make sujood for it, just one. But if it's more than one, go on. It is not considered to be qabli if it is not more than unless it is more than one, two and above. That's fine, good. Well, just stop there. So sunnah itself, the sunnah that we are talking about, if you miss it, you don't have to make the sujood sawi. Except what? Sir, the silent, and then what is the scenario? The sir and the jahr. First, sir. And you have to make sujood sawi. And what is the sujood sawi of reciting aloud in Zuhr? We are going to make sujood sahwi. Which one? No. Hold on. Other day. Whose turn? Whose turn is it? Now, it's tricky. It is more than a month, right? It's tricky. You have to know this. This is what you have to know on hand, just like at your fingertips, because you can draw. You have to draw from it anytime. Now you are making zuhr. You can be Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. You are starting Fatiha. Then you realize, no, I'm making zuhr. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. It happens. What are you going to do? Hold on. In the first place, how do you consider this? Jahr or sir? Jahr. So jahr is what? It's akin to what? I think. We don't think anything about it. We are talking about this. No. Now you base your knowledge on mind here. Okay. Now, you are making Fatiha openly in Zuhr. How do you consider it? Is it okay in the first place? Something is wrong. How do you rectify it? So how do you consider? What is the medicine? What is the? How do you rectify it when you don't know the disease? First, is it deficient? There's deficiencies here. How do you change what? Ziyada. Addition. Watch out. Anytime you are supposed to recite quietly, the law requires you to recite silently, like Zuhr and Asr, and start say it openly. It is called ziyada. You have added something to it. Say it is triskish. Look at it very well. You add towards something that is silent. So when you are making Isha, for example, you are supposed to recite openly, right? And then you what? Suddenly you have the naqs, minimize, make deduction. Naqs. And the jahr here is susceptible to what? What type of sujood? Ba'di. And then the naqs is susceptible to what? Al-qabl. Are we okay? You have to understand this very well at your fingertips. You don't have to even think about it. Once it happens, just like automatic, natural. Go. You have to do it. Tayyib. So the best principle they say is what? Al-wiqaya khayrun min al-ilaj. Prevention is better than cure. So how to prevent it is that pay attention. And تنتبه وتركز على الصلاة. طيب. Are we okay? ما شاء الله. فمن أسر. This is exactly what we did. فمن أسر في الجار سجد قبل السلام. Explain it now. فمن أسر في الجهر. Very good. ومن جهر, continue. Yes, what does it mean? Wonderful. Now we are going to tackle some certain things that may happen in the Salah. If they do, what do you do? Here we are. Again, our reader gone. Oman takallama. What does it mean? Does it happen? And you hope not? Some people. you come here, we hear people giving khutbah, and then people are talking. Is that people don't? That's one thing. Somebody, some people come, so they are making salah, and then they hear a call, and they start talking talking on the telephone. Haven't you heard that before? Have you heard that before?
Somebody say, I'm praying right now.
He said talking. Does it happen or not? So this. So وَمَنْ تَكَلَّمَ سَاهِيًا is what? Forgetful. Salam. No. You may not do it, but let us not do it. No, but it can happen. So if it happens, what do you do? Ba'da salam. Badi. Okay. This is very easy. Now. That is another issue. We are come back again. ومن سجد ومن سلم من ركعتين ساهيا سجد بعد الصلاة. You are making. What's the scenario? Like maybe you are making zuhr. So what happens? Very good. Continue.
ومن زاد في الصلاة ركعة أو ركعتين سجد بعد السلام ومن زاد في الصلاة مثلها
That's the issue. So now we are still dealing with what? The additions and the subtractions.
But he didn't do ziyada here, so why does he do the sajda after this?
Let's just come back to this talking. Let's come back to talking. We said that when we are talking, we are not supposed to talk, unless, of course, like for example, we want to correct something. Maybe a child is playing with fire. Maybe you want to get the child. Stop it. No, something like that. It is not intentional. It is not playing. You are correcting something that is necessary, right? You can see that. That is okay. No, that's okay. You are not that. Now, yes, but if it is intentional, what happens? Yes. Good. Now, that's right. You are supposed to make zuhr, and then you make 2 rakas. Assalamu alaikum. What do you do? You're going to bring the 2 full rakas. Then how do you make that sajdatain about the salam? Oh no. Yeah, how do you make it? Wonderful. He was not here when that scenario. Explain it to him. You get it now? Are we okay now? That's fine. Take it easy. And now make sure this is not a history. This is practical. And salah, you have to have this, ready to use. So, are we okay with ourselves? Mashallah. Okay. Now continue. What does it mean? وَمَنْ زَادَ صَلَاةً مِثْلَهَا بَطَلَتْ. أي بطلت صلاته. What does it mean? Exactly. Say
No, sometimes like Shaitan gets you, can I pray? One rakat, two rakat, and you just.
I said it's possible. It's not defined. It's not defined. It's not defined. How can you fight? Because the Lord goes even moving fight. How can you take a sand and you wish to wipe your face with it? Why? How can you do that? You understand it? You have to learn to understand. Quiet.
ومن شك في كمال صلاته أتى بما شك فيه والشك إن نقصان
Stop there. ومن شك Very good. And then what? أيوة كتحققه. No. Tahakkuk means what? That is solid, meaning it is the way you talk about. Give a scenario.
I'm praying to I'm chief, I'm on the second rakah or the third rakah, or maybe if I did the tashahhud or not. So I might think, oh, well, maybe this is the third rakah, so maybe I did the tashahhud complete, or no, I didn't do it, so I'm doubting. Until I'm like, no, I definitely sat there because I was looking at my finger. So no, this that is stronger, so I definitely did the tashahhud. So this is the case, but it can happen that you don't shoot too.
So what do you do?
So if you don't shoot, but if I see he is happening,
No. What do you do? What do you do? You are not sure?
but if I'm sure, I'll go with what I'm sure.
Okay, but we are talking about if you are not sure. What do you do?
Then I'll go with the safest option, which is the basic. I didn't do the tashahhud, so I have to.
You have to bring it, do it, and then what do you do after that? Then make sujood badi. Is that okay? Do you understand it? MashaAllah. You bring it, that's what you feel you have left it, make sure that you do it, and then what? After that, you make what? Sujood bada. Bada taslim. Sujood bada. Okay, continue.
فمن شك في ركعة أو سجدة أتى بها وسجد بعد السلام وإن شك في السلام سلم إن كان قريبا ولا سجود عليه.
What is that? What does it mean? That, وإن شك في السلام. That's fine. Are we okay now? Is that okay? Okay, go on. وإن طال.
وإن طال بطلت صلاته.
That's right. But so you are following. You understand? MashaAllah. Your face is like a surprise.
The thing is that if you forget that you didn't salam out,
Yes.
close time,
Just say Assalamu alaikum.
it's a long time.
But if you go to the mall, you go to Walmart, and then you remember, then forget it. That's what.
But in this case,
Go ahead.
in this case, this is like the case where you finish a lot, you thought you finished a lot, and went to the mall. But then afterward, you start doubting yourself. This is just from Shaitan. You don't do anything with this one.
Oh,
I'm totally just speaking here. Because I was like Shaitan puts doubt into you whether or not you have wudu. At time that you did it, you're like, no, I'm pretty sure I have wudu. Then you say I have wudu.
Speaking about Shaitan, next chapter is about Shaitan. Read it right now. It's where Shaitan is getting this right now. Don't allow Shaitan to get you. Go ahead. Well, muwaswisu. Stop there. What does he mean? Let Saif explain that one. No. والموسوس يترك الوسوسة. No.
The one who has the whispers, leave it. Leave the one who has the whispers from his heart.
Yes.
Get away the whispers. Leave away the whispers that you have from your heart.
Very good. Don't allow Shaitan. You mentioned it, so you are being answered here. Don't allow Shaitan to play with your heart. These whisperings from Shaitan, leave them alone. Don't tend to them. They are trying to make you feel bad and worry about your salah. Your salah, inshallah, it is okay. See? So if you are fond of listening to the whisper of Shaitan, it's a disease. Leave him alone. Leave it alone. Take it away from your heart. You see? So al-muwaswis yet ismu fa'il. Very good, excellent. Al-muwaswisu is taken from what? Waswasa. Religious. That's right. You waswisu as a go. Al-muwaswisu, the person who makes waswasa, who makes the whisperings. Who? Yes. Al-muwaswisu is the person who does the whispering. No, he responds to the whispering. He plays with the waswasa. So you are the muwaswis. You are beginning to cast doubt about yourself. But Shaitan is the most the most condemned muwaswis. So that's why Allah says that alladhi yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas. So he's muwaswis. Like you said, it's mufa'il. Who alladhi what yuwaswisu, but you yourself also you respond to it, the whisperings. So muwaswisu yatruku al-waswasata. Forget about it. لأن الوسوسة من الشيطان. Al-waswasatu min ash-shaytan is from what? Shaitan. So the more you become whispering to yourself, don't forget you are responding to what? To the whisperings of Shaitan. So there's this dua that you have to be saying. Allahumma أعوذ بالله من الشيطان أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان من همزه ونفخه ونفثه. أيوة. Can you write it? Can you write it for them to learn it? So that you decide about it now. So it's very nice. Any time in the Sunnah. Okay, this is very good. Before when you want to make salah, it's very good. Before you make the takbir ihram, Allahu Akbar. Start with it. You can start with what? What do you say after the takbir ihram? Dua istiftah. After dua istiftah, then you do what? You can say, A'udhu billahi as-samil alim min ash-shaytan. What he said. Hamzi wa nafhi wa nafthi min ash-shaytan ar-rajim. Then Bismillah starting. All in your heart. Don't open it up. But it's sufficient. It's sufficient. But now, in Islam, there are many things that are said at one thing. For example, if you want to say al-istiftah, It is not just one wording, it's not just one phrase, or one clause, or one dua. Dua is various. A lot of dua, a lot of Rasulullah has said things on various occasions, but at this, said certain things at one time. In other words, he comes to make salah, he has said certain things, but at the same time, at the time of sujood, he has said certain things, but in the sujood, right? Now, you may not say all of it. So there's, now you mentioned Ibn Taymiyyah, right? He said that just keep to one of them, right? Albani said keep to one of them. No. So Ibn Taymiyyah, there's like Imam Al-Khattabi, he said no, you can say all if you can. It depends upon your circumstance. And if you are an imam, you think also of the circumstances of the people you are leading. Now, okay, what are the du'as for in sujood? In sujood, what do you say in sujood, for example? Is that all? If you stick to Subhana Rabbiyal A'la wa bihamdi, is it okay or not? It's okay. Right? Why? If you say more than that too, it's okay. Okay. If you want to say more than that, what do you say? What do you add? That's it. Subhana Jabbar Malakul Kibra wal Azama. Alam fi dhanbi kullahu jilahu. Diqahu wa jilahu. Wa akhirahu. Hey, you say more and then whatever. ألم إني أعوذ برضاك من سخطك وبمعافاتك وبك منك. Yeah? If you can say all this, but you see, what is sad is that when you are the imam and you want to say all these things, it's not appropriate. No. Because you see, some people want to they have problems with their stomach, and then you keep them, you detain them. They have to leave the salah, make it easy on them. But if you are alone, like today is Sunday, you are not going to work. Adam is not going to work. He's in his home. He's making his nafla. You can say all these things. Now let's come back to the ihram, for example. You say that takbir ihram, Allahu Akbar, istiftah. What do you say in istiftah? Well, we another one. This is most popular. Oh, alarm. Excellent. That's right. So this is the question. Do you think you would say all this? Do you think you will say all this istiftahat? No. Maybe one. Now, before you go ahead. So, what we are saying is that these things are meant that you can say part of it and you cannot say all. So when you say about shaitan in this case, because of the meaning here, that al-muwaswis, shaitan is causing so much waswasa in you when you are making salah, you would like to what? In order to help you leave shaitan, not to respond to shaitan, you would like to go the extra mile by bringing some of the characteristics of shaitan. So can bring what? Bin hamzihi wa nafhi wa nafthi. Which it will help you because you understand what it means. It's more than just A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Maybe that is just you understand. But when you add the characteristics of shaitan, it helps you. That mashallah, I have to leave this thing now because he's doing so much destruction. Now, so there are certain times you add more to it, or there are certain times you need to limit yourself to one. But don't forget, Rasulullah said all of that. Why? And sometimes you may like to. So sometimes people they get bored when they are doing the same thing every time. It's not supposed to be like that. Boredom is not a good quality. But unfortunately, people get bored. It's sad. It's sad. People should not get bored, especially when it comes to the matters of religion, ibadah. Otherwise, I'm afraid if you are someone who gets bored, keeps saying, I'm bored, there'll be a time, astaghfirullah, may Allah forbid that we may say, I'm bored of saying Fatiha. Because Fatiha, how many times do you say Fatiha a day? Every day you are saying Fatiha. But don't you say that what? You are bored saying Fatiha? Huh? Huh? But you don't say that I'm bored of eating. You are laughing. It's true. Today say you are bored of eating your barbecue. Or you see what I mean? Or fried. Or your hot dog. But you are bored when it comes to Fatiha. You didn't say I'm bored. Don't be overtaken. Allow yourself to be overtaken and possessed by boredom. That is not good. If it comes to Islam, boredom, forget it. So yes, but because it's human nature, Rasul brought variety to help us. Even it's a help, but we should not be bored when it comes to matters of the deen. We continue. Yes, go ahead. Okay,
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
That's what we are going to read. You don't have to make it. You don't have to make. You don't have to make a sound. I'm going to read the right place. It's right here. This question is here. It's here. You don't have to make sound. Yes. No, you don't have to make sound. But if it is three, you don't have to make sound. No. No, that's that. It's the times. Okay. Okay, I've seen them. Okay, I've seen them. Shukran. Walayati. do you translate this one? Yes. Similarly, whether well now, because now you don't have to go back to this waswasa, but preferably is what makes sujood what after it, just to be on the safer side to incorporate it. But immediately after the salah is over, after salah is over. Go on. This is what they asked you to do and you did not. Translate that one. Amduhu. Purpose. Intentionally. Oh, no. Okay, go ahead. Okay. That is Shafi, yeah. Don't forget. It's good, though. It's good. Qunut, normally in Shafi, they say it in witr, right? And allowed too, true or false. But Maliki al-Qunut is in what? When in Fajr. Is it allowed? No. So when you say it aloud and intentionally, you see, it shouldn't be allowed. But if it is makruh to say it aloud, you don't want to say it aloud. That's what you are saying now. وَلَكِنَّهُ يُكْرَهُ أَمْدُهُ. We are not allowed to say it what? Aloud. That's the law. ومن زاد السورة that has no problem. Inshallah, go on. You are overcome by Shafi'ah. That's what's happened to you. In Malikiya, the Imam is saying, "Innama yujalu Imam liway litababi." Very simply, that's all. You don't have to. He said, "Make it easy for you." Right? So why do you Shafi'ah? You have to read it. No, it is true you have to read it, but if it is in sir, then you have to read it. But in Jahriya, that's it. Let him take it off. Allah has given him the steering. So he has the steering. Just enjoy. And he's taking you all the way. That's all. He's the steering. You can hear him say it. Follow him. But if it is in a secret salah, like so, of course, then you have to say it. Do you see any difference? Yes, there's a difference. In what? The recitation allowed? And the recitation what? In what? Private, secretly. Now, so what they are saying is that you cannot make salah without saying the Fatiha because it's obligatory. Al-Rukun Fard, we have gone through that already. So, it doesn't matter whether it is what? Open salah or what? Secret recitation. So, they say that you have to say it. But because you cannot say it at the time what? When the Imam is said, because وَإِذَا قُرِئَ الْقُرْآنُ why? Once it to be silent, be quiet. So they say that then the Imam should allow some time for you to say it. What of the Imam is not going to allow you time, like Ibn Taymiyyah, you are saying you read Ibn Taymiyyah. Ibn Taymiyyah say what? He said you don't have to wait for that. Wait according to your own time, if you can, to the time that you can regroup yourself to recite. So catch your breath. If it takes you 2 seconds to catch your breath, go for it, and then you go on without wasting time for this Shafi to come and say. No, go ahead. So, yes, Imam is there to what? To take you, drive you, enjoy. Masha, go ahead. When it comes to the transit, you have to stop for you to take over. Transit when it begins to recite in what? Privately, secretly. Then you take over and you read your Fatiha secretly. That is why you have to read it. Are you okay now? Alhamdulillah. Woman samiya dhikra Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What does it mean? It happens. You are making salah, and then the name of Muhammad is mentioned. What do you do? Can you say sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Are you guessing? The answer is here. Read the answer. Read the answer. You can say sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You are making salah. No problem. No problem. It doesn't matter. Prophet Moses, you make salah, but don't say Allah like I said. No, very gently, mildly. You can even say in your heart. It doesn't matter, but make it in your heart is much better. Anytime, anywhere you hear Prophet Muhammad's name, say sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What can be more strict and stringent as being salah? It is possible. You can hear it. Don't pretend as if you don't hear it. Your khushu should not take you to the level of not hearing the name of the Prophet to be recited. It's part of the khushu to you. You can say it very gently in your heart. You can say that. But sometimes you overcome. You hear it. Muhammad, you are used to. And this is salam. It doesn't matter. Go ahead, Falashi. Well, this is what Maliki is telling you. You can say it, and there's nothing wrong with you, inshallah. Because Muhammad deserves better. It is better. He's unique. Don't forget. He's a human being, but a unique human being. No question about that. You can see it, but in your heart it doesn't matter. So you can see it, no problem, inshallah. No. طيب وهو في صلاتي فصل عليه سواء كان ساهيا. What does it mean? So blah blah blah. You can see intention. It doesn't matter. We are talking about Prophet Muhammad. No, okay, that's fine. This is good. I like it. Don't you like it? No. What does it mean? That wherever, it doesn't matter. We hear Muhammad. What is sad? Go to assemblies, people go to conferences and things like that. People hear Prophet Muhammad's name, and you can hear a pin drop. Nobody says sallallahu. Unbelievable. Until even the lecturer will say that, I'm going to say Muhammad, don't say sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, so he has to urge you to call it. It should be natural. It should be part of it. Anytime Muhammad sallallahu it should be part, it should be in our blood. Say sallallahu alaihi wasallam anywhere, and don't forget you are rewarded. Anytime say sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You see the ones Allah multiplies how many times? 10 times. Don't you like it? If you have, come on, go ahead and do it. Now, طيب. So stop there. What does it mean? You are reciting. It has become more like a fashionable, like a trend. People come to make salah A lot of people are making salah, hear themselves, instead of saying surah in full, like Alam Nashrah, like a surah, they choose to say what? No, that not even that. They choose to say like ayahs from the Quran. Lillahi ma fi samawati wa ma fil ard. It's not a full surah. It's not a portion. If you see it, or in the mal mu'minuna alladhina amanu billahi wa rasulihi thumma lam yatab. Ayatul kursi. They say ayatul kursi. But is it a full surah? But if you say that, is it okay or not? It's okay. So we are saying that the Mu'allif rahimahullah is saying that it is okay to say that. It's part of the surah. Ayatul kursi is part of the surah, or full, or two surah. Now, sometimes you are making salah, you say that Kul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq. Then you say Kul a'udhu bin nas. Follow it. Kul a'udhu bin nas. 2 surahs, right? Falaq and the nas. How many surahs? Is it okay or not? By this, it is okay. You can do that. You have the choice. Now, here you come to the Malikiya is saying that. Look at it. Normally, most people they don't like it. They don't like you to read it. Most scholars they want you to read it according to the way the Quran appears in the word. The surahs appear in the Quran. So you have to read Baqarah before you come to what? Al Imran before what? Nisa before what? But Malikiya is saying that what should be considered here is the length of the surahs and not the way it was revealed. So, Mutafifin, for example, is longer than in Shiqaq. It's a Samo Shaqat, right? But it is longer. But it comes after what? In Shiqaq. So, according to Malikiya, which one should we recite first? Mutafifin. So don't worry. Before you come to read in Shiqaq, those who will go with the majority will say that, no, you are turning it axe. You are what under Tomakis. You are just sort of putting the cart before the horse. You cannot do that. They say that. Then Malikiya will say, hold on, wait a minute. Here is our delil that when you do it according to length, it gives the people who are coming to join the Salah time to join the Salah. Except in Juma. In Juma, preferably you read the longer surah at the end, in the second rakah. Because missing Juma is not like missing ordinary Salah. Now, like Eid, for example. So those occasional Salah, you get to use the longer surahs at the end, so that it gives the people opportunity to come and catch up with the Salah. This is their consideration. Now, instead of reading it to the according to the manner in which it has been arranged in the Quran. Now, so yes, this is my idea. So you read the Quran surah the way you want, but make sure that the ones that you read first should be longer than Rasul some of his tahajjud, he will pick up Bakar and then so Ali and Nisa, which comes first? Are you okay? That is the fine. So everything must be according to the Sunnah of Rasul, and there's no bones to pick with this, inshallah. Are we okay now? 2 minutes. Salam alaikum. We are going to stop here. We shall continue. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Inshallah. Subhanallah. Salam alaikum.
أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. وقال الذين كفروا لا تسمعوا لهذا القرآن والغوا فيه لعلكم تغلبون فلنذيقن الذين كفروا عذابا شديدا ولنجزينهم أسوأ الذي كانوا يعملون ذلك جزاء أعداء الله النار لهم فيها دار الخلد جزاء بما كانوا بآياتنا يجحدون وقال الذين كفروا ربنا أرنا الذين أضلانا من الجن والإنس نجعلهما تحت أقدامنا ليكونا من الأسفلين إن الذين قالوا ربنا الله ثم استقاموا تتنزل عليهم الملائكة ألا تخافوا ولا تحزنوا وأبشروا بالجنة التي كنتم توعدون نحن أولياؤكم في الحياة الدنيا وفي الآخرة ولكم فيها ما تشتهي أنفسكم ولكم فيها ما تدعون نزلا من غفور رحيم ومن أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله وعمل صالحا وقال إنني من المسلمين ولا تستوي الحسنة ولا السيئة ادفع بالتي هي أحسن فإذا الذي بينك وبينه عداوة كأنه ولي حميم. سمع الله لمن حمده. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. سمع الله